the best way to explain to you what I have going here is to actually show it to you. So this is what I have. I'm trying to recharge non-rechargeable batteries and recover them to the point to where they're rechargeable again. Now, if the certain cells within the battery are still good, the system works. If not, I have to break it apart and make it happen. So what I've done, very simply, is I've taken an 11-watt panel that I have here and an 11-watt panel that I have here. And I've run them in series. Series meaning that the two panels will double the voltage, but not the wattage. Okay. So it also means that the two panels can take half the amount of power produced by sunlight. Right now I have a great day, so I'm producing a lot, which is pretty cool. But even on a rainy, cloudy day, like we get an awful lot of around here, the panels do not produce enough power. So directly, those panels will not charge that battery. So it needs a circuit in order to be able to get there. The circuit will not run directly off those panels because they're too weak. So I went into the bank of capacitors. Now these are the capacitors that I was talking about. I'm going to try and get out of the sunshine so that you can see them. They're 35 volt, 12,000 UF. 35 is pretty good, but if the panels actually go up to full value, they'll probably hit about 36 volts. They're still within the range of the capacitor given what their percentage range is. Not a bad deal. They're electrolyte. How can I size that so that you can see comparison? Alright. The 12-volt battery. Yeah, maybe that's not enough. Alright, cigarette was probably not a good idea, but I'll put my finger there. Each joint of my finger is about an inch, so they're probably about 3 inches in height. And in width, they're probably a little bit better than an inch, I'd say 1.25 inches. Alright, so size of capacitor does mean something because it will hold more energy than what a smaller capacitor will and discharge it at a stronger value. There's a point of which I'm trying to figure out, and that's where my dilemma is. So I think 35 to 40 volts is as far as I need to go with it. Go any larger, and the reality is the UF decreases upon lesser voltage. Yeah, this is a whole nother game I'd have to explain at a later date, but just trust me on it. So to be able to go 35, 40 volts, so somewhere in a 20,000 up to about a 30,000, I'm thinking right now is probably the extent of what this circuit can handle. Alright, so that's what I'm doing. The idea is right there, as I told Scott, is I took a DeWalt charger, gutted it, and turned it into a power supply. The power supply is now working on an LED circuit. Not many of the LEDs are running because that battery right now is down to about 9 volts. That's a battery that I'm recovering right there. I can get her up to about 11.2. I need to get her better. She's a 12-volt battery. Haven't quite got there yet. But if I throw her on the charger, she once again charges, which she wouldn't before, which is great. That means all the cells within her are good. If they're not good, then I have to break it apart and take out the bad cells, put new, better working cells in it, and the battery's back up. Alright, so that's what I'm up to. That's what I'm looking for capacitors in order to make the circuit run. It's a rechargeable circuit. I have recovered a couple of batteries from this because the cells have been good. I'm looking to do a little bit more, but that's what I'm looking for in capacitors.